entrepreneurship, motherhood, marriage, divorce, dating, healthy living, and thriving, of course. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show.
Hey there, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, where we discuss the unique challenges of the 21st century women. So buckle up and get ready, sister, to get your life right.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya.
Hey family, how you doing? Welcome to the Tanya Barnett Show. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? Yes, Tanya is on the Harold Fisher Show on the Daily Drum for those of you who are here in Washington, D.C., and she will be here momentarily, so guess what? I'm holding it down for... Usually, you know, I'm behind the camera, directing, producing, saying move this, do this, but now I guess this falls under the category of other duties as assigned. But anyway, I'm going to hold it down. That's wifey. So tonight we're going to have a great show for you, but let me get you caught up on what we did over the weekend. Forever Free Books had a Books, Boys, and Cut event. It was a great event. And special thanks goes out to our community partners, Industrial Bank, Jay's Classic Cuts in Clinton, and we also had an author by the name of Charlene Hill for the Repo. Excuse me if I said that wrong, if I pronounced it wrong, but it was a great event, as you see from the pictures that we got going, scrolling over here. And today's show is going to be just as great. And if you're interested in volunteering for Forever Free Books, just go to foreverfreebooks.org if you want to donate, if you want to participate or become a community sponsor. Forever Free Books will welcome you with open arms, and our kids really could use the books. But anyway, moving right along here. So as I'm sitting in for our host, Tanya Barnett, who, as I said, for those of you who are just turning in, who is on the Daily Drum right now with Harold Fisher, and they should be wrapping up in a few minutes if the time is correct. So I'm just holding it down. So here we go. Tonight's show who was our special guest tonight? Ooh. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm saying her name correctly. Charlene. Okay, yeah, we got a special guest tonight, guys. Yeah, we got a special guest tonight. And so when Tanya gets in, she's going to take it over for you. But right now, let's cut to a break, and I'll be back with you in 1 minute.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision.
Welcome back to the Tanya Barnett Show. I am Donald Barnett, Tanya's husband, your temporary host while Tanya makes her way from WHUR. For those of you who don't know, August is Hair Loss Awareness Month. And for those of you who are not aware, that my wife shared the screen with 3 other women on the MSNB, on the Today Show. And you can go to the Today Show website and see that footage for Hair Loss Awareness Month. So now we have another event coming up on October 14th. My wife and Dominique Clark will be in Atlanta for the Art of Being a Wife tour. And that is in October 14th, 2017. If you have not gotten your tickets for this event, ladies, what are you waiting for? When this event came to DC, I'm trying to tell you, if I could have infiltrated the event, I'd have been there. The event was fabulous. Women came away with answers to a lot of questions. Some women came away with just that sense of that feeling of what are the words I'm looking for? Because I'm not a woman, obviously I can't explain it. But that sense of, okay, I'm not alone. I have someone who's been through this with me. So the Art of Being a Wife tour, October 14th in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, so now back to the show. Whoa. Oh, no worries, bud. No worries, man. The Art of Being a Wife tour. Okay, so while we're waiting for Miss Barnett, let me tell you a couple of things about this phenomenal woman. Tanya, what you don't see behind the scenes, she works tirelessly to bring you great programming, and she puts her heart and soul in everything she does. I love this woman. Big ups for Tanya Barnett. That's why I got my shirt on. My wife is dope because, she's doing the thing, and I'm very, very proud of her. Her children are proud of her, and when you see this babe, I want you to know that we love you very much and we appreciate you. Now, just one other thing. Now, since I'm a guy, I got to talk about what everyone else was talking about over the weekend. The Mayweather-McGregor fight. How many of you, honestly, come on, let's be for real. How many of y'all thought McGregor had a chance against a boxer who was boxing all his life? Come on, don't be shamed. Don't be shamed. Well, I didn't. I knew Floyd was going to crush that Bama. Late rounds, whatever. Come on, man. Floyd ain't knocked nobody out since when? Since 2000, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, something? And he stopped McGregor in the 10th round. Well, you know what? Big ups to Floyd, brother. I'm proud of you, man. But this time, man, stay retired, man. For you catch a Buster Douglas, man. One of these dudes is gonna be your Buster Douglas. Stay retired, 50-0, my man. But look, as we await here for Tanya Barnett to get here, we're gonna cut to another slide, and I will be back with you in a minute.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Welcome back to the Tanya Barnett Show, the livest show on internet radio. So here we go. I'm holding it down for my wife, Tanya Barnett, who should be here. Oh, look what. Oh, she's here. Just, you know what? Just take your time. Just take your time. I've been, this is what I do. I tell you, other duties as assigned. Just take your time. Go ahead. Come on. You don't even got time to be doing all that. Come on, woman. But without further ado, Here's my lovely wife, the Miss Tanya Barnett. Come on, girl.
Thank you.
And you know what? I'm sorry that ma'am, that I messed your name. I messed the host name. I didn't know her name, man. Like Jamise, how you say it?
Jamise Burke. Ooh.
Jamise Burke.
1 second, keep talking.
Okay.
Y'all, this live TV.
Yeah, this is like, you know what? Sometimes this is just how it is when you let the husband just really be in charge. You know, I'm like I'm in charge behind the camera. Now all this front of the camera stuff is cool, but you know, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. What you think? Right. Thanks. My wife is winking at me. So it doesn't matter what y'all say. She says I'm doing great. Right. So now, while we are waiting, we're going to cut to a next slide. And then when you get back, you will see none other than Tanya Barnett herself.
The Tanya Barnett Show. It's 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 the Tanya. We talk about real things, talk about life things. The 21st century woman gotta get right. Entrepreneurship, motherhood, marriage, divorce, dating, healthy living, and thriving, of course. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show.
Hey there, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, where we discuss the unique challenges of the 21st century women. So buckle up and get ready, sister, to get your life right.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya, 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 Tanya. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. 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 It's the Tanya, Tanya. We talk about real things, talk about life things. The 21st century woman gotta get right. Entrepreneurship, motherhood, marriage, divorce, dating, healthy living, and thriving, of course. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show.
Hey there, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, where we discuss the unique challenges of the 21st century women. So buckle up and get ready, sister, to get your life right.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya Barnett Show. It's the Tanya, 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 Tanya.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision, Listen Vision.
Hey, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet, y'all. Let me tell you something. I feel like the fly jock. I have been all over the place the last couple of days, and I'm so super excited. I am not complaining. I am very thankful, and I appreciate my husband. Thank you so much, honey, for holding it down for me. He is the bomb diggity with his My Wife is Dope t-shirt, and I promise you I did not make him wear that. He picked it out himself. So I wanted to share my She's Gotta Have It really quick before I bring my special guest on. Her name is Jamae Spurs. She is already keyed in and on my phone and ready to go. We're going to do audio tonight with her, so you'll be able to see her picture on screen and hear her as well. So my She's Gotta Have It today is none other than Sassy Jones Boutique. Y'all know I love Sharice Jones of Sassy Jones Boutique, and I have on my boho earrings today. Okay, so make sure you check her out, Sassy Jones Boutique. That is my go-to. That is my must-have jewelry. I think I wear some piece of her jewelry every single day. So yeah, Sassy Jones Boutique. Make sure you check it out. And I'm super excited about my guest today. Jamae Burst is the founder of She's Dope LLC, and so she's going to be sharing some things with us. Jamae, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me.
Hey, sis. How are you? How are you? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm so excited to have you as one of my guests. You are doing some dope, fly things through your organization. So can you tell my guests a little bit about you?
Sure. So my name again is Jamae Burst. I was born and raised in Bronx, New York, and I have been living in Baltimore for the past, it's been 11 years. Time goes by so fast. I have one daughter. She's 7 years old, and I founded She's Dope last year in December, and things have taken off so quickly. It's like almost unbelievable for me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So can you tell people what She's Dope is and why you started it?
Yes, so She's Dope. The business is two parts to it. There's the business side and there's the subsidiary, which is the community side, which is the business side makes the money. The community side is where I get my fulfillment from. Mm-hmm. So on the business side, I provide administrative assistance services and project management services to small businesses and nonprofits. Mm-hmm. And then on the community side, I do a little bit of everything, but my main focus, I have a community initiative called the Bro Code, in which we focus on young men ages 13 and 21. And basically what we do is we have a yearly retreat where we take them away for the weekend, and they are able to be exposed to different environments, go through some team building activities, some financial enrichment classes, and things like that. And then throughout the year, we have events every other month to just keep them engaged, keep them off the street, keep them doing something positive, and keep them connected with mentors. As everyone knows, that's a critical age range. So we try to create a program where we can stop anything potentially bad, like them being on the streets or getting incarcerated, before it happens versus trying to have a program to help them after something happens.
Wow, that is amazing. So how do you find the young men that are part of this program?
So we usually, we have a lot of partners throughout Baltimore City, and what we usually do is just kind of advertise, and there's no certain criteria that is needed from the young men to be a part of the program. They just have to be willing and able. They have to, of course, the Bro Code is the name, but it's an actual code of conduct and the code that the young men uphold themselves to, as well as the mentors.
Nice. So
they have to agree to the actual code, and they come up with that themselves. It's kind of, it's a real code between the guys. I don't have anything to do with that part. That's their kind of thing.
Cool. I love
and I
that.
just make sure that they hold themselves accountable to it.
Wow. And I'm sure allowing them to create the code also creates a sense of empowerment where they're saying, okay, these are our standards. So it also gives them time to think about what they value. And so I think that's just so key and fantastic that you're allowing them to choose what code they want to follow and then sticking to it. I think that's just fantastic.
Absolutely. I so agree with you. It's easy for adults to say, this is what you need to do and this is what you need to do. But when they create it themselves, it makes more of a difference saying, okay, well, we can come back and say, well, listen, you said that you wanted this and that you were going to be able to do this, so you kind of need to do this. These aren't our rules. You kind of came up with this yourself.
Right. I love it. And so can you tell us a little bit more about She's Dope?
Yeah, so I've always been like the secretary. Growing up, my family, we had our own family business, and my dad kind of trained me at a young age to be his secretary. So as I started getting older, I just kind of sharpened those administrative and project management skills. And I noticed that a lot of businesses or business owners are always short on something in that time. So we focus in on the day-to-day duties that you need to stay afloat as a business, making sure we're responding to emails, connecting with vendors, while the business owner is able to focus on branding their business and the more important things, while we handle the minor details of the business for them.
Wow, that is fantastic. And you say you've been in business for a year?
And since December.
Wow. That is fantastic, lady. I like that you said that it has exploded. So what would you attribute to your business success, thus far to?
I think that when I started, I kind of already had a game plan, and I just decided that I was going to stick to it no matter what. And when I say it kind of took off fast, I mean like almost immediately. So for me, it was just knowing exactly where I wanted my business to go and what I wanted it to be, and the sense of the branding aspect of who my ideal client was, who I would be able to service, because, there's no one person that can do everything. Everyone out there isn't my client, and they're not supposed to be. So I think focusing in on, I remember one thing that I have a business best friend, and we are each other's accountability partners. And I remember when we first started together, the one thing that we did was we created an avatar of who our ideal client would be.
Wow, that's
great. So
great.
that kind of helped me just stay focused and say, okay, I know if this client comes to me and say they want X, Y, and Z, and I can only give them X and Y, they might not be the ideal client for me. So just too overwhelmed and taking on too much at a time. So I was really able to focus in and drive in what I already know and what I know how to do.
Wow, that is fantastic. And I love the idea of an avatar, because I have one as well. And so when I think when opportunities come my way, I always think about, okay, is she in that in that, say, at that conference, or is she a part of whatever those opportunities are? Will that perceived avatar, will she be there? And if she's not, then I have to walk away. And like you just said, that's not my client. That's not my customer. And so I think it's really important for people to understand that you can't service everybody. When you try to service everybody, you're gonna service nobody. So I just think it's really cool that you subscribe to that as well. So, guys, we'll be right back. This is my special guest tonight, Jamace Burtz of She's Dope LLC. I'm going to have a few more questions for her right after this break. This is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision.
Hey there, this is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. My special guest tonight is none other than Jamace Burtz. She is the founder of
She's dope, and I'm so super excited to have her here. Jamace, during the break, we showed your flyer of your upcoming event. Can you tell the guests a little bit more about that?
Yes, so the upcoming event is actually taking place next year, but we are gearing up because it is our biggest event of the year. And the Bro Code Retreat is where we're going to take 120 inner city males from Baltimore City in the D.C. area. We're going to take them up to Northeast Maryland for a weekend. This event is completely and totally free to the youth.
Wow.
It's funded by us. We find sponsors. We have fundraisers. Whatever we have to do to raise this money, we do it so that it doesn't create a financial barrier from stopping any child from going. And they just go up there. It's a time for them to get away. We definitely focus a lot on taking them outside of the normal environment that they're used to, that city life. You know, in Baltimore, if you're from East Baltimore, you kind of stay in East Baltimore. And if you're from West Baltimore, you kind of stay in West Baltimore. So just breaking down that whole mindset of the environment and putting them in a different environment. They're going to have some phenomenal guest speakers. We're going to have workshop trainings for them. They're going to go through financial literacy, mind, body, and spirit workshops. They'll have yoga. They'll be able to go swimming, canoeing. They have basketball courts, football fields, everything that a young man could possibly want to happen in the weekend is going to happen at the Bro Code Retreat. And we're super, super excited about it. And like I said, it's completely free. We know sometimes that when you start to look at some of the barriers that stop people from being able to do things in the city, the main thing is finances. So we don't want that to be an issue, which is why everything that we do is free to the young men, and we just hustle behind the scenes to get the money together to make sure that they can go. And we're just excited. It gets bigger and bigger every year. This year was the actual first year I did it, and this year was a one-day event, and it was so, it was better than I was even expecting it to be. So I said the next one has to be bigger and better. And I said, listen, let's just go and take them away for the weekend. And my team was like, are you sure? And I was like, I think so. And then they kind of just, everyone, my team is so phenomenal. They jumped on board, and we have just been running with the vision, and it's just been amazing. In the process of that, we are actually also working on a documentary to follow some of the young men's lives outside of the retreat, and what we're doing leading up to the retreat, and some of the events and some of the actual mentoring piece where we go out with them and we're supporting them at sports events or whatever it is that they're having. So it's just phenomenal. It's like my baby, so I'm just like excited to see it grow. And my team is phenomenal. They're awesome. They're like the step parents, and we're raising this child together. So it's just amazing.
Wow. Well, I'm going to have my engineer put the flyer back up. So for those of you who want to donate, who want to support this fantastic event, make sure you show up. And when I say show up, I mean financially, because we know putting on a free event is extremely expensive on the backside. And so a lot of you have the funds to be able to support such a fantastic event. We want to keep our boys off the street. What she's doing is fantastic. It's phenomenal. And you may not be able to do it, but you may be able to financially support it. So I would just suggest that you reach out to Jamace and just see where you can help out. Whether
Absolutely.
it's, and what can someone do if, say, for instance, they're in that Baltimore area, someone that's watching right now, they're in the Baltimore area, and they say, I really want to come out and help support you. What can they do?
They can definitely do that. We're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for male mentors. If anyone would like to connect with us, we're on Facebook, Bro Code Baltimore. Our email address is brocodebaltimore@gmail.com. And listen, whatever way you feel like you can get in where you fit in, we definitely take you in, because, like I said, it's a lot of behind-the-scenes work to make such a weekend of retreat with 120 young boys to happen.
Wow.
So there's no help that we're turning down at this point. So, yeah, we need it.
Awesome. Now, is there an income requirement for these boys? Is there some type of criteria or are you just taking whatever boys sign up?
The only criteria that we don't have a criteria because we want to be able to offer the experience to everyone. But like I said, the main thing is that they're following the actual code, so they have to sign on to be a part of the bro code. And one of the requirements is definitely that they have to participate in community service hours throughout the year. And we do things like community cleanup, going to volunteer to feed the homeless and things like that, because we want them to be engaged and just developing these soft skills and teaching them that, you know, someone is giving back to you. So one day it's going to be your responsibility to turn around and give back and help somebody else along the way.
Right.
So that's definitely one of the values that we are instilling in them. So they have to do community service. We stay on top of them in school. Any of my boys will tell you, I have gone into schools. I go on the corners and get them off the corners. So we're very, very hands-on with them.
Wow, that is fantastic. I love that you're going into the schools. It's so funny. I had an opportunity to be on WHUR. That's why I was running a little bit late this evening. And we talked about that participation, adult participation, parent participation in the schools, and how that helps children be successful in school and have a successful school year, have a positive experience with their teachers. And so the fact that you are going in as a liaison, so to speak, and being there for those children, I just think is fantastic. So for those of you who are watching, look, let me tell you something. We make up a lot of reasons and excuses why we can't do something. And here's a woman who's not only created an organization, she's actually going onto the street corners, she's going into the schools, showing these kids that they care. You all have great kids, great families, and won't even make it to a PTA. We talked about that tonight. When we go to a PTA meeting, it is time for us to invest in our children, and I mean our time. It is time for us to do that and stop relying on nonprofits and organizations to do it. We have to do it ourselves as well. And when we do that, we also need to bring our children along. Like she said, these boys have to do volunteer hours. My children, through my nonprofit, they have to volunteer as well. My kids come to all the things that my nonprofit does. It's just not even, it's a non-negotiable for them. And so I just love what you're doing, sis. Keep doing what you're doing. And we're going to come back and I'm going to ask you a few more questions right after this break. This is Tanya Barnett with the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision, Listen Vision, DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey there, everybody. This is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. I'm so super excited about my special guest tonight, Miss Jamace Burtz. She is the founder of She's Dope, and she has the Bro Code Baltimore, a fantastic organization where she is servicing our male boys and giving them the skills that they need to be successful in life. And so she needs to be applauded. If you're watching right now, make sure you stand up and give her a round of applause, because it is not an easy job. Number one, working with children, and then number two, teenage boys. I have a 14-year-old son, and Lord help me. So, girl, hats off to you for what you are doing. Mad props. So, let me ask you this. So, in the course of everything that you have going on, being an entrepreneur, and then running the Bro Code, how do you find time for yourself?
Oh, gosh, it is a struggle. My team is constantly on me about making time for myself. I'm also a mom. I have a significant other, and I have a bonus child that comes along with the significant other. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I recently just started trying to take some time in the morning to prepare myself and some time in the evening to kind of decompress from the day and figure out what's going to happen tomorrow. But, I never know exactly how my days are going to go. I never know what call I'm going to get from a client that may be in crisis, or a kid that needs something or needs somebody to be somewhere, or my own child. Thankfully, she's very kind of chilled and relaxed, so she kind of just goes with the flow and is very independent on her own. So she's kind of like my partner in crime. She just kind of rolls with mommy, and we roll it and we make it happen. But it is very hard sometimes to find that balance.
Wow.
So
wow. And you just segued into my next question, because I was going to ask you, because you're servicing other people's children, how do you find time for your own?
So my daughter, she's actually, she's a mini me. She's already constantly on me. She wants to, we're in the process of starting her a charitable organization because she has a passion for the homeless.
Okay.
So her organization is going to be called Zion's Lunchbox, and that's going to focus in on the homeless population and providing food for them. So she's kind of like in training a little bit, so she loves it.
Okay.
And, we were at the Waffle House one day, and it's just like she just pulled me up into this business conversation about her logo and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, wait a minute, where do you get this stuff from? And, she's paying attention to just, being out with me and having to sit in meetings sometimes and things like that. So she's, I keep her engaged in what I'm doing. And I make sure that I do find that time for her to say, okay, today's your day. Let's do whatever you want to do.
Right.
Because I have to take care of home first, and you can't take care of the outside world if your house is a mess on the inside. So
absolutely, that is sound advice. Making time for our kids while we're building our businesses, while we're building our empires, is so key. And I know for me, I have to make those moments and take that time to spend time with my kids as well. So it is doable. You have to strike that prioritize. That's what I always say. How do you manage it? You have to prioritize. Today, I have to give my time and energy to my business. Tomorrow may be, okay, I'm not taking any calls after, say, 7 o'clock, so I can spend time with my husband and my children. So it really is about prioritizing. So how do you deal with fear, or those times where you're like, what, I just don't know if I can continue doing this? How do you deal with that?
Those are very surreal moments for me a lot of times. And I'm thankful to have a significant other who kind of balances me out when I'm getting too overwhelmed or I feel like I'm doing too much. He kind of is the calming to the storm. Definitely prayer keeps me centered, keeps me balanced, and just trying to stay focused. Like I said, the main thing I think is not to overwhelm yourself too much. Know what's in your capacity. Know what's outside your capacity, especially on the community side. Sometimes, it's easy to get caught up and, wanting to do so much, but you have to know where to draw the line and say, okay, I've done all that I can.
Right.
So just knowing find the silver lining in anything, and just know what's in your capacity and kind of what's not. And having someone that's very supportive and in your corner definitely helps a lot with that when you're kind of like feel like the storm is coming and you don't know what to do.
That is so key. And the beautiful thing is, I have a very supportive husband. Actually, he held down my show for like the first 10 minutes. So I have no clue what happened. So I apologize to all y'all. But I was told it was great. So thank you, honey, for holding down the show for me. But yes, definitely having that support system. I know for my husband, we've been talking a lot about me kind of chilling out, not taking things too seriously, taking some things off of my plate. So that I don't have those anxiety moments. So yeah, definitely having that support system helps alleviate, I won't say eliminate, but helps alleviate
Yeah.
When that fear comes, that fear factor can get you doubting whether or not you can continue on, or, did you hear wrong, or, is this season over? All those things that they come into your mind that try to tell you to not move forward. But it's like, if I wasn't, if like you and myself, if we weren't doing what we were called to do, we wouldn't even have that pushback. So I just applaud you, sis, for everything that you're doing. So is there anything that you would like to leave with a woman who's watching right now who says, you know what, I want to give back, I want to start an organization, but I just don't know if I can do it because I have a husband, I have children, I work a 9 to 5. Obviously, Jamace, you're doing it. What is some piece of advice that you would give to a woman who has a heart to serve or wants to give? What would you say to her?
I would definitely say that if you know that what you feel that you need to do is your passion and which you are placed here to do, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about, we all have different beliefs, but I think that if you believe that you were put here to do something, it's going to be something that you're not going to be able to stop thinking about. Everything you do, you're going to find yourself like, oh, I got to do this. I need to do this. I need to do that. It's going to be tapping on your shoulder constantly. So I think the main thing is you just have to make that transition to say, I'm not going to operate and say I'm going to operate on my faith. And if this is my passion and this is my purpose, I'm already equipped with the tools to complete it. I just have to learn how to utilize them and activate those tools to do what it is that I want to do.
That's good that you are already equipped. You just got to take that step. Definitely. And I think once we take that step, then those doors open for us. Like you said, your business has just taken off since December, and it was because you took that step. So taking those steps, ladies, not being afraid. And also, I think too, a piece of advice is to change your circle. And changing your circle is very painful. I know for me, it was extremely painful to change my circle. But once I did that, my business blew up. I started Forever Free Books in April, I think 2013, April 2013. And by December, we were doing Christmas with the Redskins, and so just doors open because I continued to just move forward with my nonprofit. And we've done things with Magic Johnson Foundation, the Baltimore Ravens, you name it. We have done Raheem Devon, who's local here to Washington, D.C. area. We've done a lot of stuff with a lot of people, but it's because I took those steps. So again, like you said, you already equipped. You just got to move something. It's kind of like, losing weight. You're equipped with all the tools to lose weight. You just got to use those tools. And so I just think it's really key that women understand that you already have it. You have those gifts in you. You have those talents. And then the people who can help you, like you said, you have a great team. Those people will start to find you and align with you. And so you don't have to do it all. And I think that's important too for us to understand. We don't have to do it all. You can say no. You can delegate. Giving things to people who have skills in those areas where you're kind of weak at. So I just think that's really key. What you said, that we're already equipped, ladies. Just keep it moving. You can do this. If Jamace can do it, if I can do it, Lord knows if I can do it, anybody can do it. But you just have to push. So, Jamace, we're going to come back right after this break. We're going to get your contact information, where people can reach out to you again if they want to support, if they want to donate. So hold tight. This is Tanya Barnett with The Tanya Barnett Show. We'll see you in a minute.
Listen vision. DC's #1 recording studio.
Hey family, this is Tanya Barnett, your host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. My special guest tonight that has hung tight with us is Jamace Burr. She is the founder of She's Dope. Jamace, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here with you guys.
Awesome. So can you tell people how they can contact you if they want to donate, if they want to help out with the bro code? I also thought about if someone wanted to maybe volunteer, become a mentor. Can you tell the audience how they can do that?
Absolutely. You can definitely connect with us by email. Our email address is thebrocodebaltimore@gmail.com. We do have a Facebook page, Bro Code Baltimore. It is managed by myself as well as the other 3 members of my advisory team, so someone is always monitoring it. And like I said, we're always looking for mentors, volunteers. We're looking for chaperones for some men who's willing to actually come up with us for the weekend and chaperone the boys. And if you guys like to connect with my business page, I'm She's Dope LLC on all social media.
Awesome. So can you leave the viewers a quote or a mantra, something that you meditate on or say to yourself repetitively that keeps you going on those moments where you're just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore?
The thing that, the quote that I most likely say to myself is, you never know who you're going to reach today. So some days you may be able to help 5 people. Some days it may be 10 people. Some days it may just be that one. But that one person may just be that one person that you needed to reach on that day. So never think your reach is too little, that you're not impacting anybody, because you just never know where you're going to meet a person at, where that person is in their lives, and what you can do to change that for them. So it doesn't have to be something drastic. It may be someone maybe having a horrible day and just needed you to smile at them and say good morning.
That is so good. On my Twitter every morning, I always post, make sure you say hello to someone and greet them with a smile. And I just think it's so important because in today's world, it was so funny. I was with one of my girlfriends and we were at a store and I spoke to the cashier and I was like, and her name was on her shirt. And I was like, hey, so-and-so, how are you? And she was like, are you talking to me? I mean, like she was taken aback that I spoke to her, so imagine, and I watched as people were going through her line, they were on their phones or talking to their children or whatever, never acknowledged her, never thanked her. And so she was caught off guard when I acknowledged her by her name. Right. So, yeah, I mean, and I don't know what that would have done for her, or what she would have gone through that afternoon and remembered that, or maybe coming to work. So yeah, that is so key that we just do not know who we're impacting. And so people are watching. They're watching. Absolutely. They may not tell you they're watching. They're watching you on social media. They're watching you in the neighborhood. They're watching you at work. So yeah, just always let your light shine because like Jamace says, you never know who you're impacting. And I just think that is so key. So, Jamace, can you give the viewers your social media and your contact information one more time before we get out of here on the Tanya Barnett Show?
Absolutely. So if anyone would like to connect with me on the Bro Code Baltimore, our email address is thebrocodebaltimore@gmail.com. The Facebook page is Bro Code Baltimore. And for She's Dope, I am She's Dope LLC on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And my email is info@she'sdopellc.com.
Awesome. Well, Jamace, thank you so much for being my guest tonight. I am honored that you said yes. I love having women like you who are empowering not only women, but you're also empowering our boys who are just it's such a critical time here in our country right now as far as our children are concerned. And so I applaud you, girl. There's a special place in heaven just for you and your team.
Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Awesome. And so, sis, we will connect on the B side, and I appreciate you, and I will talk to you later.
You have a great one.
All right, thanks. So coming up after the break, friends, I will be sharing a few upcoming events that I have. This is Tanya Barnett with the Tanya Barnett Show.
Listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. DC's #1 recording studio. Listen Vision. Listen Vision. Listen Vision.
Hey everybody, this is Tanya Barnett, the host of the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. And you all see that I have my lovely, handsome husband with me. He is closing out the show with me. I thank you all for your patience earlier this evening. I was on another talk show, so my husband held it down, and that's what teamwork is all about. You know, I just was like, babe, I need you to cover for me. Like I said, I have no idea what he said or what he did. But I just want to thank you, honey, for holding it down for me this evening. Thank you so much.
And I had no idea what I did or said.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So anyway, one of the graphics that you saw was the Art of Being a Wife tour. You all know Atlanta, ATL, Dominique and I are coming your way. We will be there in October. Make sure you get your early bird tickets. I think those ticket sales the early bird ticket sale goes off at the end of this week. So make sure you get your ticket sale. This is going to be a dope, like she's dope. This is going to be a dope event.
Like my wife dope. Right.
Yeah, his wife is dope.
I talked about this while you were gone too.
You did?
Yeah, I told them they was going to get something.
Okay.
They're going to get something.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what that something is. That something is we are going to have a cooking class, a cooking demonstration by Chef Ebony. That is chef with an S. So SHEF. You can Google her. She's been on Essence Ebony. You name it. She's been there. Chef Ebony is going to come and do a cooking demonstration, as well as the great content that Dominique and I have for all of you. Those of you who are in DC, you know it was like that. We went over an hour because it was such a great event. The venue owner, she came in and she chimed in and she said she learned a lot from the event. So we're really excited about the Art of Being a Wife tour in Atlanta. You can get your tickets at bit.ly/wife tour and the number 2. And we cannot wait to see you there. We have some fantastic sponsors, some fantastic vendors. You are going to get really cute with the items that we have. We also have a girlfriend package. So if you and your girlfriend, not that tight, if you and your girlfriend buy tickets, it's at a discount. So I'm really excited about that. We're offering that to you as well. And we have VIP. VIP, you all will be getting a pair of Sassy Jones boutique earrings in your bags, as well as some other fly things. So we're really super excited about the Art of Being a Wife tour. I know Dominique's been talking about it on her radio show. That's Friday nights, 6 to 8 p.m. on sourcenation.com. So make sure you check her out as well. So, honey, any parting words?
No, I didn't know you were having a chef. I want to come for the chef part.
No.
Oh, wow.
It's for wives only. And what Chef Ebony does, she teaches you how to keep it sexy in the kitchen. So after her event, I forgot to say this, after our event, we're going to go to her event for a full 3 to 5 course meal, including wine.
All right, pause.
Yeah.
So she's going to teach y'all how to keep it sexy in the kitchen?
Sexy in the kitchen, yes.
So when you come home, that means you're going to start cooking?
I'm going to be sexy.
All right. I'll take that. So that means I still got to cook?
Yeah, you still got to cook.
Oh, God.
But he cooks good, though, y'all. Like my chicken, let me tell y'all about the chicken. Okay, I never digress on my show. I'm always keep it, tight and right. I seasoned the chicken. I had to run out and go back to work, So he comes home, the chicken, I forgot to, tell my son to put it in the oven. He didn't think I seasoned it, so he seasoned it some more. Okay.
I doctored it up. Y'all know how we do. We doctor stuff up.
Right. So there was a lapse of communication. So couples, let me tell you something. Y'all need to communicate. Had I told Don, hey, babe, it's already been seasoned, because he thought it was Mrs. Dash, no salt, but I use regular season. So people's blood pressure probably going to be high after eating this chicken. But had I communicated, hey, hun, it was already seasoned, you don't need to put anything else on it, then it would not have had extra. So, honey, thank you so much for handling dinner, handling my show, taking the kids wherever football practice. Was it football practice you took them to?
Football practice, and I picked my daughter up from
Picked my daughter up from cheer. He did all of that before coming here tonight.
And did my normal duties here at the show prior to.
Yeah, he produces my show as well.
And the other duties as assigned when I held it stood in for you.
Thank you. So I just want to thank you all for joining me
I'm
here.
Have a good night.
You may have a good night.
Oh, God, I see that.
The engineer is cracking up behind the camera. So thank you all again for joining us here on the Tanya Barnett Show, the flyest talk show on the internet. And stay tuned for my brother that's following behind me. Talk to you all later.
It's the Tanya Barnett Show.